The Art of Wu Wei, Effortless Action in Taoist Practice. Welcome, dear seekers of wisdom and practitioners of the path. Today, we venture into the heart of Taoist practice, exploring the profound concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action. This ancient principle is not merely a philosophical ideal, but a practical guide to harmonious living, deeply woven into the fabric of the universe itself. In Taoist thought, Wu Wei is the essence of how the cosmos operates, a manifestation of the natural order, the Tao, which flows through all things. To understand Wu Wei is to recognize the rhythm of nature, to see the ebb and flow of life's tides, and to align ourselves with this grand orchestration. Imagine a river meandering through the landscape, its waters finding the path of least resistance. This river does not strive, it flows. It does not plan its course, it simply follows the contours of the earth. Wu Wei invites us to emulate this river, to flow through life with a sense of ease and grace, allowing our actions to arise spontaneously from the wellspring of our true nature. In our first steps towards grasping Wu Wei, we must first shed our preconceptions. Often we approach tasks with the mindset of force, believing that to achieve anything, we must exert control, impose our will, and struggle against the current. Yet, Wu Wei suggests the opposite. It teaches us that true effectiveness arises from surrender, not from domination, from harmony, not conflict. Consider the way of the bamboo. It bends with the wind, yielding to its force, yet it does not break. It is strong because it is flexible, enduring because it flows with the elements rather than resisting them. In our own lives, how might we be more like the bamboo? How can we bend with the winds of circumstance while maintaining our inner strength? As we immerse ourselves in the practice of Wu Wei, we begin to observe our own nature. We notice the impulses and desires that drive us to act. We witness how our mind clings to certain outcomes, how it chases after success and recoils from failure. Yet, in the observation of these patterns, we find space, a gap between impulse and action where choice resides. In this space, we can choose to act not out of compulsion but from a place of stillness. When we act from this stillness, our movements become more fluid, our decisions more intuitive. We start to trust the intelligence of life, which moves through us and guides us in unexpected ways. It is here we might pause and reflect, not in the sense of asking a question, but in opening to an experience. What would it feel like to let go of the struggle? To trust that life will unfold as it should, even without our forceful intervention? Wu Wei does not imply passivity or laziness. It is not about shirking our responsibilities or drifting aimlessly through life. Rather, it is about finding the most effective, effortless way to engage with the world. It is about recognizing the right moment to act and the right moment to remain still. The ancient texts teach us that the sage, the wise one, knows when to move and when to be at rest. To cultivate this wisdom, we must sharpen our awareness, attuning ourselves to the subtle cues of our environment and our inner landscape. We learn to listen, to wait, and when the moment is ripe, to act without hesitation. In practicing Wu Wei, we also come to understand the power of intention. Our intention is like the rudder of a ship. It steers our actions, giving them direction. Yet, for the ship to move, it must also raise its sails and catch the wind. Similarly, we set our intention and then let the winds of Tao carry us forward. This is the dance of Wu Wei, a partnership with the invisible forces that shape our world. It is a recognition that while we play a part in the unfolding drama of life, we are not the sole authors of its script. The universe has its rhythms, its patterns, its Tao, and our mastery lies in aligning our actions with this greater flow. To live in Wu Wei is to walk with lightness, to approach each moment with a sense of freshness, as if it were the first and the last. It is to act with pure presence, free from the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. As we grow in our practice, we may find that our actions become more effortless, our lives more fluid. We may discover that we achieve more by doing less, that by relinquishing our tight grip on life, we allow the treasures of the Tao to come pouring in. In the art of Wu Wei, we also encounter paradoxes. For instance, how can we strive not to strive? How can action arise from non-action? These are not riddles to be solved with the intellect, but experiences to be lived. They invite us to step into the flow of life, to embody the principles of Taoism not as abstract concepts, but as living truths. As we continue on this path, let us be patient with ourselves. Change does not happen overnight, and the practice of Wu Wei is a gradual unfolding. Just as a tree does not rush to blossom, we must allow our understanding and application of Wu Wei to develop in its own time. In this gentle unfolding, we may begin to notice a shift in our relationships with others. Wu Wei teaches us to engage with people not as objects to be manipulated, but as fellow travelers on the journey of life. We learn to listen deeply, to speak truthfully, and to act with integrity. In doing so, we create space for others to express their own nature, free from our expectations and judgments. Imagine how our interactions might change if we approached each person with the belief that they, too, are guided by the Tao. How might we support them in finding their own path of effortless action? In the realm of work, Wu Wei transforms our approach to productivity. Rather than pushing through tasks with brute force, we align with the energy of the moment. We become attuned to the rhythms of our own creativity, working intensely when inspiration strikes and stepping back when it wanes. This is not laziness, but a wise allocation of energy, a recognition that there are times to surge forward and times to rest and recharge. The art of Wu Wei also extends to our inner world. It invites us to look at our thoughts and emotions not as enemies to be conquered, but as natural phenomena like the weather. We learn to observe our inner storms with detachment, knowing that they will pass. We discover that we can remain centered even as emotions swirl around us. This inner Wu Wei is perhaps the most challenging aspect of the practice. It asks us to surrender our illusion of control over our inner experiences. Can we let go of our resistance to what we feel? Can we allow our emotions to rise and fall without getting swept away by them? As we deepen our practice of inner Wu Wei, we may find that our emotions become our teachers. They show us where we are holding on, where we are resisting the flow of life. They point us towards the areas where we need to grow and the wounds we need to heal. In embracing our emotions with compassion and understanding, we become more whole. We integrate all parts of ourselves, not just the parts we like or are proud of. This wholeness is essential for the practice of Wu Wei, for only when we are whole can we act with authenticity and integrity. The practice of Wu Wei also invites us to reconsider our understanding of success. In a world that glorifies achievement and rewards busyness, Wu Wei offers a different perspective. It suggests that true success lies not in the accumulation of wealth or accolades, but in the quality of our presence and the depth of our peace. How might our lives change if we measured success by the harmony we create, the joy we experience, and the love we share? How might we redefine our goals and dreams to align with the wisdom of Wu Wei? As we align with Wu Wei, we may also notice a shift in our relationship with time. The constant rush and urgency give way to a more measured pace. We learn to trust in the perfect timing of things, to recognize that there is a season for everything, and that forcing growth or resolution before its time is as fruitless as trying to pull a blade of grass to make it grow faster. This trust in timing is intimately connected with the Taoist concept of ziran, or naturalness. Wu Wei is the expression of ziran in action. It is acting in a way that is true to our nature, without artifice or pretense. It is being fully ourselves, without apology or self-consciousness. To embody ziran, we must strip away the masks we wear, the roles we play, and the expectations we labor under. We must come back to our essential self, the part of us that is untouched by social conditioning and personal history. What might we discover about ourselves if we removed these layers? What might our lives look like if we lived from this place of naturalness? As we approach the halfway mark of our exploration, we see that Wu Wei is not a passive state. It is active engagement with the world from a place of alignment and attunement. It is the art of being in the world but not of it, of participating fully while remaining detached from the fruits of our actions. In the next part of our journey, we will delve deeper into how we can apply Wu Wei to the challenges and complexities of modern life. We will explore how to maintain our center in the midst of chaos and how to bring the wisdom of the Tao into every aspect of our existence. As we continue to navigate the waters of Wu Wei, let us do so with open hearts and minds, ready to be transformed by the profound simplicity of this ancient way. Let us flow with the current of life, trusting that it will carry us exactly where we need to go. Harmonizing with the Tao, the mastery of Wu Wei in daily life. In the second chapter of our exploration, we delve into the practical application of Wu Wei within the complexity of our daily lives. This ancient Taoist wisdom, when truly grasped, becomes a compass for living with authenticity and grace amidst the ever-changing tides of the human experience. In the realm of personal growth, Wu Wei offers a path that is neither forced nor contrived. It is an organic process of becoming, where each step unfolds from the last in a natural progression. Our growth, therefore, is not something we need to chase after. It is something we allow to happen, trusting that we are intrinsically wired for evolution and expansion. Consider the way a tree grows, silently and without effort. Its branches reach for the sky, and its roots delve into the earth, all without a blueprint or a sense of hurry. In our own growth, Wu Wei teaches us to embody this same quiet confidence, to trust in the unseen forces of our personal development that propel us forward. In our interactions with others, Wu Wei becomes a subtle art of relationship. It teaches us to listen more than we speak, to understand before seeking to be understood. When we embody Wu Wei in our relationships, we create a space where authenticity can flourish. We allow others to be as they are, without the need to change or control them. This does not mean we become passive spectators in our relationships. On the contrary, we become active participants, engaging with a kind of attentiveness that sees beyond the surface. We respond to the needs of the moment, whether that calls for action or silence, presence or space. In the dance of conversation, for example, Wu Wei is like the space between the notes in a piece of music. It is the silence that gives meaning to the sound. When we allow for pauses in our dialogue, we invite a deeper communion, a resonance that goes beyond words. In the professional sphere, Wu Wei challenges our notions of ambition and success. It asks us to consider the possibility that we can achieve more by striving less. This is not to suggest that we abandon our goals or work ethic. Rather, it is about aligning our efforts with the natural talents and passions that flow effortlessly from within us. When we work in accordance with Wu Wei, our work becomes a form of play. We lose ourselves in the joy of creation, and time seems to stand still. Our work then not only becomes more enjoyable, but also more impactful, as it is infused with the quality of our full presence. This approach to work requires a deep trust, a trust that if we follow our natural inclinations and abilities, we will find our place in the world. It is a trust that the value we bring, when we are true to ourselves, will be recognized and rewarded in ways we might not anticipate. In facing life's challenges, Wu Wei offers a perspective that is both empowering and liberating. It teaches us that we do not need to meet every obstacle with force. Sometimes the most effective response is to yield, to step back, and to reassess. When confronted with a problem, Wu Wei advises us to become like water, which flows around rocks and finds the path of least resistance. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to the power of adaptability and resilience. How often have we compounded our problems by resisting them, by refusing to accept the realities of our situation? Wu Wei teaches us to let go of this resistance, to accept what is, and to move forward from a place of openness and flexibility. In the practice of self-care, Wu Wei reminds us that rest and activity are two sides of the same coin. Just as the earth lies fallow in winter to prepare for the burst of life in spring, we too need periods of rest to rejuvenate our spirits and replenish our energies. Self-care under the guidance of Wu Wei is not a scheduled activity. It is a responsive practice. We learn to tune into our bodies and minds, giving ourselves what we need when we need it. This might mean taking a walk in nature to clear our heads, meditating to find our center, or simply allowing ourselves an afternoon of rest without guilt. In cultivating a Wu Wei approach to self-care, we honor our human limitations and recognize the cyclical nature of our energy levels. We understand that by honoring our need for rest, we are not being unproductive. We are preparing ourselves for future action in a way that is sustainable and balanced. As we weave the principle of Wu Wei through the fabric of our daily lives, we may discover a paradox. The less we focus on the outcome, the more likely we are to achieve the results we desire. This is because Wu Wei aligns us with the intrinsic intelligence of life, which orchestrates events in a way that our rational minds cannot fathom. Let us then embrace the art of Wu Wei, not just as a concept but as a living practice. Let us allow it to permeate our actions, relationships, and inner world, so that we may move through life with the ease of the Tao, harmonizing effortlessly with the natural rhythms of the universe. Embracing the void, the transformative power of emptiness in Wu Wei. As we venture further into the depths of understanding Wu Wei, we encounter a profound and often misunderstood concept, the embrace of emptiness. In Western thought, emptiness is often associated with lack or absence, but in the context of Taoism and the practice of Wu Wei, it signifies a fertile void, brimming with potential and the birthplace of all possibilities. The concept of emptiness in Wu Wei is not a nihilistic abyss, but rather a canvas of infinite openness, a space within which the dance of creation and existence unfolds. It is a state of being that allows for the complete and unobstructed flow of life's energy, or qi, through us. In this chapter, we explore how embracing emptiness can lead to unparalleled transformation and harmony in our lives. The practice of inner silence. To touch upon the essence of Wu Wei, we must first cultivate inner silence. In the stillness of our minds, we can hear the subtle whispers of intuition and the gentle guidance of our inner selves. This inner silence is not a void of thought, but rather a selective quieting, the art of tuning out the noise to tune into the deeper currents of consciousness. The space between actions. In the practice of Wu Wei, emptiness is also experienced in the space between our actions. It is in these interludes that we find the flexibility and freedom to respond to life with spontaneity and creativity. By allowing ourselves moments of non-action, we recharge our capacity for action when it is truly needed. These pauses are not wasted time but are rich with the potential for insight and regeneration. Emptiness in relationships. In relationships, emptiness manifests as the openness to let connections evolve organically. It is the conscious choice to not crowd interactions with expectations or preconceptions. By giving our relationships room to breathe, we enable a genuine unfolding of affection, respect, and understanding that is not forced but naturally occurring. The power of detachment. Detachment, a key aspect of embracing emptiness, involves releasing our grip on the outcomes we desire. It is the understanding that by holding on too tightly to our expectations, we may actually impede the flow of events. Wu Wei teaches us that there is strength in letting go, in trusting that what is meant for us will come to us when the time is right. Emptiness at work. In our professional lives, the principle of emptiness encourages us to approach tasks with a clear mind, free from clutter and distraction. When we allow our minds to be empty, we become conduits for inspiration and efficiency. This approach can lead to innovative solutions that seem to arise out of nowhere, but are the result of a mind at ease and open to new possibilities. The role of emptiness in creativity. Creativity is another area where emptiness plays a critical role. The blank page, the silence before the first note of music, the empty stage. Each of these is a metaphor for the creative potential that lies within the void. By embracing emptiness, we give ourselves the freedom to explore, experiment, and express without the constraints of preconceived ideas. The embrace of uncertainty. Finally, Wu Wei's embrace of emptiness teaches us to become comfortable with uncertainty. In a world that often demands definite answers and a false sense of control, the ability to reside in the uncertainty of the void is truly liberating. It opens us to the flow of life in all its mystery and allows us to experience the present moment fully, without the weight of expectation. In conclusion, the practice of embracing emptiness as espoused by Wu Wei is not a passive resignation to nothingness, but an active engagement with the full spectrum of potential. It is a dance with the unknown, a surrender to the flow of life, and a trust in the unfolding of events. By integrating this understanding into our lives, we can unlock a more profound, more effortless way of being, and in doing so, align ourselves with the deepest truths of existence. The alchemy of stillness, culminating wisdom in the heart of Wu Wei. In the finale of our contemplative journey through the principles of Wu Wei, we arrive at a pinnacle of introspection and understanding. This culminating wisdom is not a destination, but a deepening of the practice, a continuous refinement of the balance between being and doing. Here, we embrace the ultimate paradox of Wu Wei: action through inaction, sound through silence, fullness through emptiness, and discover how it manifests as alchemical stillness in our lives. The integration of being and doing. At the heart of Wu Wei is the seamless integration of being and doing. This is the fusion of our inner world of tranquility with our outer expression of activity. When fully realized, our actions are no longer separate from our state of being. They are the natural, unforced expressions of our authentic selves. This integration allows us to move through the world with a sense of grace and ease that is the true hallmark of mastery. The resonance of alchemical stillness. Alchemical stillness is the profound inner peace that emerges from the depths of Wu Wei practice. It is a state of consciousness where we are deeply rooted in the present moment, aware and responsive to life, yet not perturbed by its constant fluctuations. This stillness is not static, it is dynamic, a potent source of vitality and strength that enables us to act with intention and purpose while remaining inwardly detached from the chaos of the external world. The art of effortless transformation. In this final phase of our exploration, Wu Wei is revealed as the art of effortless transformation. When we operate from a place of inner stillness, change occurs naturally and without struggle. Our personal growth and evolution are no longer forced but become as inevitable as the flow of a river, carving out its path with gentle persistence, adapting to the landscape, yet always moving forward. The wisdom of surrender. The wisdom of surrender is perhaps the most challenging and liberating aspect of Wu Wei. It requires a profound trust in the process of life and a willingness to let go of the illusion of control. In surrendering, we open ourselves to the wisdom of life itself, allowing it to guide us, shape us, and when necessary, reshape our path. This surrender is not a defeat. It is an active choice to align with the forces larger than ourselves. The mastery of balance. The mastery of balance in Wu Wei is the delicate act of maintaining our inner equilibrium amidst the ever-changing landscape of the world. It is the recognition that our true power lies not in dominating our environment or imposing our will, but in maintaining our center of calm and clarity. From this center, we can move with the world in a harmonious dance, responsive to its rhythms and attuned to its needs. The legacy of Wu Wei. As we embody the principles of Wu Wei, we leave behind a legacy that transcends our individual existence. This legacy is characterized by the positive impact of our presence, the subtle yet profound influence of a life lived in harmony with the Tao. It is a testament to the power of quiet strength, the ripple effect of a pebble dropped into the stillness of a pond, whose waves reach far beyond the point of impact. The continuum of practice Wu Wei is not a philosophy to be learned and then forgotten. It is a continuum of practice, a way of life that unfolds and deepens with each passing moment. As we conclude this exploration, we understand that the journey of Wu Wei is infinite, a path that spirals ever upwards towards greater awareness and understanding. In this alchemy of stillness, we find not only the wisdom of the ancients but also a timeless guide for modern living. By embracing Wu Wei, we tap into a wellspring of inner peace that nourishes our lives, enriches our relationships, and empowers our actions. We become vessels of the Tao, living expressions of the profound simplicity that underlies the complexity of existence. As we continue to navigate the waters of life with Wu Wei as our compass, let us remember the transformative power of stillness. It is in the quietude of our being that we discover the music of the cosmos, the dance of the stars, and the rhythm of our own hearts beating in unison with the eternal Tao,